You know, it is a fact that those who serve Satan, who is the ultimate rebel, will be punished severely. Not just by God, but by Satan himself. He insists in disciplining those who follow him, those who love him and serve him. He will not tolerate. This is absurd. He is the ultimate rebel, and he will not tolerate indiscipline from humans. He may have to tolerate it from his fallen angels, but he certainly won't tolerate it from human beings. You can find this in Emmanuel Ainey's amazing chapter, the amazing chapters we have on the website called Delivered from the Powers of Darkness. I think you need to read it. In the UK, all sorts of things are being tried to resolve the problems of dealing with difficult children. But we have failed to punish our children. And that is as we have been commanded to do. So as a result, we are now being punished. We are now being disciplined because we failed to discipline our children. And that first report I read you there, that man had it absolutely spot on when he says schools and parents are not allowed to discipline children. It's against the law. We run to our churches, but the situation doesn't get any better. We have quangos and all sorts of groups set up to try and resolve problems, which if we just looked at the Bible and did what it said, the problem would vanish. And that applies to most problems. You know, we prefer false promises and soft words and our weekly fix at some service. That is if we go there in the first place. Isaiah 39, that this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord. Rebellious people and lying children. We lie to our children. Then we expect them not to lie. Isaiah 30:10, which say to the seers, see not unto the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. Sadly, our church and political leaders carry on as if all is well. Today, if we hit our children in order to bring them into order, in many countries we will be prosecuted. I'm not talking about battering children. That's wrong, that's wicked, that's evil. But a good smack would stop not half, all the problems we have. I see 3-year-olds controlling their parents. Right in the supermarket, just walk up there and you'll see them. We now live in a world stalked by violence, just as this gentleman said here a minute ago. What's his name? I can't see his name at the moment. Not that it matters greatly. I can't see his name at the moment. Charles Hendricks. Charles Hendricks. He's got his finger on the pie, but it cost him his son's life. You know, recently in the UK, some high-ranking police officer said it was okay to go out into the streets at night. Well, that was a revelation to most people. Never mind going out into the streets at night. Many people are afraid to go out in the streets in the day. You know, walking past some hooded teenagers or adults, that can be quite unnerving. It really can. What about confronting some violent people and having a go, as the police are now telling us to do? That's what happened on September 2nd, 2008. We must have a go and not just rely on the police. Well, this is so absurd that it is unbelievable. You know, the number of cases where people have been prosecuted for having a go, and recently this included a very high-ranking police officer. He was an ex-police inspector. He ended up in a prison cell. He was trying to deal sensibly with some rebellious children. But today, even if you try to deal with other people's children or your own children, you can end up in prison. He ended up in a prison cell. He couldn't believe it, but he did. But if those children had been disciplined to begin with, he wouldn't have been in that dilemma. But he was a police officer. Babylon means confusion, and we have it, haven't we? You know, we have even been told that just to take a photo of someone who's damaging your property is infringing their civil liberties, and that is an offense. Yep, if somebody's smashing down your house and you made the mistake to take a photo, yep, it's an offense. So we really have the lunatics running the asylum. I wonder what all these cameras. Northampton is supposedly the most photographed place on the planet. That's where I live. What are all these cameras doing? Aren't they infringing my civil liberties? What about these people who are continually damaging my fence? Aren't they infringing my civil liberties? When my house was stoned, causing £1,500 worth of damage, was that infringing my civil liberties? And guess what? The police didn't come. The woman on the phone said, "Do you know who's doing it?" I said, "No." "Can you see them?" I said, "No." She said, "Well, we can't come." When my daughter's car stopped momentarily in town, somebody just came up the sidewalk and kicked in her door, causing several £100 of damage. She went to the police said, "Not interested." She was smart enough to actually find the guy. I thought, full marks to her. Find the guy, track him down, house everything. And she's not a police person. She's got a brain though. And you know, she gave the police all the information. And you know what they did? Absolutely nothing. But I bet you, if the people who smashed in my house, my fence and my daughter's car had been disciplined, had been given a sound smacking, and not Game Boys and televisions and computers and MP3 players and all the mobile phones and the rest of it, I bet you they would not have been doing all these violent deeds. You know, if I was responsible for discipline and they told me I couldn't hit the children, I wouldn't. I said, that's fine. That's not a problem. And this is what I would do. I would say, this is how it is. Anything you damage, you personally will repair. You won't get somebody else to repair it. You will personally make it good. But you're not a carpenter. Well, you have to go and learn the trade. You're not a glazier. Too bad. Too bad. Absolutely too bad. I would make you pay to have the professionals do it, so that the person doesn't suffer any loss. But you personally will never, ever spray graffiti again.